Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm gonna be going over events and whatnot that's going on this weekend, and then also the vehicles that are up for sale right now. And the reason why some of the Russian tanks are up for sale is because it's Tankers Day for Russia. It's going from the 12th to the 15th, so it's this entire weekend, and you'll be able to have a decoration and then also some discounts on some of the vehicles in War Thunder. There's a decoration. It's called the Golden Heat. It is a Heat FS shell, and to be able to get this decoration, you'll have to get 10,000 mission score over the course of this weekend in ground battles. So it'd be kind of nice. There should be a little emblem of it popping up right about now. There will be also Twitch drops this weekend from the esports channel of War Thunder. So, I mean, if you're wanting to get some, you know, probably some boosters or maybe even some like skins and whatnot from the Twitch drops, you can. Another thing that was also kind of weird today is, at least on the 12th, the battle pass was taken down, or like where you can't like see it right now. So it's a little weird right now, but also the vehicles that I'm going to be talking about in this video is the T80UE1, the T72 Terms, the BMD4M, the Object 140, the T55AM1, the Object 120, and the IS6. And then also the K50 and the T126, the starter pack for Russia. So, come on, and I will show you what's going on this weekend. For the first vehicle that I'm going to be talking about for this weekend sale is the T80UE1. This is I'd say pretty good vehicle, mainly because it's on the T80 chassis. Now, like this T80, it still has the slow reload and slow turn traverse, as you can see, like on the reload rate, 7.1 seconds. Still pretty slow, but once you get down to like the T80U here, then you start getting into the good reload and whatnot. See, even like with this T72 over here, it still has a 7.1 second reload. So still at like 11.7 wise for Russia. The only good MBTs would be this T80U and this T80U. And pretty much all the T80Us are your best option for MBT. But for this one, since it's 30% off, it'll be really good. It'll be a real good one to buy. You also get access to, a dart has about 532 millimeters pin. You get, a missile that you can launch through the main gun. The cool thing about this one also is you also get a explosive time fuse delay shell for it. So you could use this to take out enemy aircraft, or it'd be kind of hard to take out aircraft. This is probably more for helicopter, but you could use it for that. You also get some pretty good thermals. It has camo netting thrown on it, bulldozer blade if you want to dig a little hole to kind of hide your chassis, and laser rangefinder. So this will be a pretty nice tank to get access to. And another thing with this one, like I was saying a while ago, it gets a better reload rate. Since this is a little more modern one, you also get a better turret traverse with this tank. And it also has pretty decent speed, 7 kilometers an hour. So this is a pretty good option to pick out if you want a top tier vehicle. And for the vehicles that are on sale, if you want an MBT tank, this would probably be your best option over the T72. The T72 Terms is still decent. The downside is its turret traverse and its reload rate. And I'd say also its speed. It's not the best, but it can still hold its own. Good thing about this vehicle is its thermals. It has really good commander thermals and gunner thermals. And you get a laser rangefinder, pretty decent dart, 457 millimeters pin, and get artillery, smoke shells, ESF. This will still be a pretty good option to pick. And then your next vehicle that's going to be 30% off is 2S3. This is honestly a really good one to get, mainly just for its multi-purpose capabilities of taking out like enemy helicopters, recon drones, enemy aircraft, tanks. This thing can take out anything you want on in ground realistic. Because you got an APCBC round, and I like to take a few of these rounds, just to deal with like light tanks, or if you get lucky and you're on the side of a MBT. The reload rate on this thing is very fast. It's a half a second, so if you get a side shot and you have like the dart loaded, you can immediately switch to the APCBC and just sling one of those inside there, and it will one-shot the MBTs on the sides. Now, another thing too is you get access to a dart, 224 millimeters of pin. It's pretty good. Another thing too is this proximity round, where you could use it for the recon drones, helicopters, and planes. And it's pretty nice, mainly because this thing gets access to IRST, which will allow you to lock onto enemy aircraft, and it gives you a lead indicator to shoot for. So, pretty good tank. Has really good thermals, UAV, all your good stuff, laser warning system if someone's looking at you. So, pretty good option to pick. I'd say for rank 7 wise, I'd pick the 2S38 and the T80 E1. That'd be your two best vehicles to go with. Now, next vehicle is the BMD-4M. This is a pretty decent tank. You will get access to these heat missiles, or not heat. You get access to these missiles, and the cool thing about this missile is the tandem warhead on it. So that means it will bypass ERA armor on enemy tanks, and you got about 750 millimeters of pin, and I believe it can carry about like 4 of those missiles. And the neat thing too about them is you can fire them while moving. So that's a pretty nice option. You also get the 30 mil, where you get an APDS round for it with about 82 millimeters pin, which is pretty decent. You can penetrate pretty much any tank on the side with this. And the one thing I like to do with this tank is like to use the recon drone and use these high explosive shells and do artillery with this tank. You can like ping where the enemy tank is, and then try to range them properly, and you can hit the rooftops with it. You can also do it, just playing normally. You might see like like a 50 cal poking out. You can shoot the 50 cal and you can overpressurize the enemy tank. But this is a pretty good tank. Artillery, spotting capabilities, laser rangefinder, good thermals, all the good stuff on this thing. So it also gets an ERA kit on it too. So pretty good. Really good mobility too with it. About 70 kilometers an hour. Pretty nice. And it's only at 9.7. So be a good pickup for that. And you got the T55AM1. This would be a pretty nice vehicle at 9.0. The cool thing with this vehicle is it actually gets a APC-BC round. Having about 236 millimeters pin with this. At this BR, majority of the tanks that you're going to be going against, you can penetrate all of them pretty much from the front with this shell, and you'll be able to one-shot them no matter what, pretty much. Now, you can also take the dart. The dart is also still pretty good. You'll be able to, honestly, the dart or the APC-BC would probably be your best bets for shells. If you know where to aim, just go with the dart. If you want something that it doesn't really matter where you aim, as long as you get inside the enemy tank, it'll destroy it. This is your better option. It also gets access to a missile that you could launch, or you can take high explosive if you wanted to bonk some people. But this one also gets a laser rangefinder, no thermals, gets artillery and ESS and smoke grenades. So pretty decent. It's only a 9.0, so if you get down tier, this is going to be a really good tank. And I'd say, let's see here, mobility. Mobility is not the best on it, looks like. So still decent. Reloads, I'd say decent for this BR. So pretty good option to pick up if you're going for 9.0. Then the next vehicle is the Object 140, and this tank is actually kind of neat because it gets access to a 14 millimeter machine gun on top, and this machine gun can penetrate up to about 49 millimeters of armor. So like enemy AA tanks, or maybe like the side of like a light tank, and there are some light tanks that you can penetrate from the front with this. So you got pretty much a secondary cannon with this. Pretty good option. You get access to an APDS round with about 370 millimeters of pin. Another APC-BC round, about 290 pin. That's pretty good. And you got a heat round with 380 and high explosive. So I'd say with this round, or with this tank, I'd probably go with ACBC and heat round mainly. And this would be a pretty decent option, and it has pretty good armor up here. It's like if you go over here, protection. Now, yeah, solid shot shell. Let's see, about 280 millimeters of armor. So that's pretty good. Pretty decent. And then let's go over to the next vehicle. The next one is the Object 120. This tank is still really good. It used to be kind of overpowered when it first came out because it was at 7.7. And at 7.7, this thing, if it got a down tier, it could shoot through anything it wanted. Mainly because it gets access to a dart. And it has 405 millimeters of pin. Yeah. Think of this going against Tiger 2s or like American T-34s or IS-2s. Yeah, this thing's gonna like cut through them. But now that being at 8.0, it still can cut through pretty much everything it looks at, even with the 405 millimeters of pin. Another thing too, if you wanted to, it'd be funny, go with the high explosive. Almost 6 kilograms of high explosive mass on that thing. So you can meme with this tank if you want it. Now, I'd say only downside is the reload. Well, actually, reload is actually pretty decent. It's at 10 seconds. Everything's pretty good on this vehicle besides, I would say, its armor. The armor is pretty thin on this thing. Like, majority time, it can be 50 cal'd and destroyed that way. Now, from the front, the turret can't really be 50 cal'd, but it could get its transmission taken out or whatnot. But from the side, it could definitely be destroyed by 50 cal. So you have to worry about Americans with their 50 cal. And then the next vehicle is going to be the IS-6. This tank is a pretty nice one. I like it a lot. It used to be at 6.7. It used to be really, really great at 6.7. At 7.7, it's still kind of iffy. If it gets up tier, it's kind of okay. It's not the best, mainly because it has a slow reload. But with this 122, if the shell goes into the tank, it's gonna go bye-bye. And the neat thing with the Russians' 122 millimeter gun in general is they got access to this new shell for it a few updates ago. It's about 230 millimeters of pin with it and 192 grams of explosive mass. So this shell enters that enemy tank. There's no longer gonna be enemy tank. So this would be a pretty nice option to go with if you want to go for anything for like 7.7 wise for Russia. This is a really great tank. Armor's still really good with it, and the turret armor is still good. And you also get a roof mounted 50 cal if you want to deal with enemy plane. Then the next vehicle that I was going to talk about is the starter pack for Russia is also 30% off, which will include the T-12. And this is actually a pretty nice little tank at 3.0. Especially if you get down tiered, its armor is actually pretty decent. It can bounce some stuff, especially autocannons. It could easily bounce that stuff. You'll get access to you'll get access to the T-126 with the starter pack, and then also the I-150. And this is actually a pretty nice little plane also because you can have little missiles with it. Different types, you got about 0.4 kilograms of explosive mass with these, and you got SAP warheads on these. So with these missiles, they can penetrate the tank and then blow up on the inside of the enemy tank. So it's pretty good. 60 millimeters of pin. It's pretty decent. You can also carry 50 kilogram bombs if you want, and that'd be pretty decent. And this plane just in general is a pretty nice one. Really good turn time, 13-second turn time. That's really good. And then you got 4 7.62s, and these usually shoot really fast. Pretty good option for beginners. And go over here to helicopters. The Ka-50 is also on sale right now. The Ka-50 is also on sale right now because of Nikolai Kamov's birthday. So if you wanted a premium helicopter that can help you get through the Russian tech tree, I'd say fairly easily. I haven't really been messing with it that much. That's the reason I haven't got through stuff super quick just yet. But The one thing I like to do is you can go into the helicopter PvE mode, and you can grind out silver lines with this. And I like to take out this loadout with the two 500 kilogram bombs, and then 2 sets of the 9Ks. And with this loadout, you can take out any of the targets in that PvE mode in simulator match. So it's pretty good. And majority of the time, I'll make around like 300 to 500,000 silver lines with this, with just premium account, no booster. So, great vehicle to go with for grinding silver lines. And also with these, let me tell you again, also, like you saw in like the video I had at the very beginning of this, and these missiles, the 9Ks, can reach out to 10 kilometers. So if this thing gets down tier, since it's at 11.3, it can go against 10.3 stuff, it can outrange a good majority of the enemy AA tanks, because a lot of them are heat-seeking tanks, so they can only reach you from like 3.6 kilometers. So you can outrange a lot of enemy AA tanks with this. The only downside is this helicopter does not get any thermals, so you're gonna have to use your Mark 1 eyeball. But it's a really good helicopter, and that is all the vehicles that are up for sale right now. The way you can also claim this one, the Golden Heat Warhead, is you just come in here to achievement, come over here to holidays, and then Tankers Day, and then you can come down here and claim reward. And that is it for all the stuff this weekend. Hope y'all enjoy the video, and good luck on the grind.